Valve has done it, guys, in a time where, well, franchise leagues are not at their all-time high. We're talking about Overwatch League, CDL, some complaints over in Valorant, what they're doing. Well, Valve has just changed the entire game as CS2 approaches. They have now gotten rid of franchise leagues and partnership teams, opening up the entire circuit for the entire esport starting in 2025. But a big update, a huge update everyone is talking about regardless. As they announced just now in a huge update called a level playing field, as they go on to say, we think that Counter-Strike should be an open sport. So we're going to add new requirements to running large-scale competitive events. The finer details are still in progress, but here are the broad strokes. One of the biggest ones being tournament organizers will no longer have unique business relationships or other conflicts of interest with teams that participate in their events. So looking at organizers like Blast Premier, but especially organizers like ESL who have run the space and do, of course, hold a large majority of the events out there that people are watching, no longer are those partner teams or those franchise systems going to be allowed starting in 2025. They want to open this up to more of an open circuit where all teams who want to compete at least have some sort of chance. A lot of people respond to this by saying, that's awesome. That's a huge W. Now, the falter of that, it would be, okay, what does that mean for the partnership teams who paid millions of dollars to be a part of those franchise systems? Will there be partial refunds? Will Valve use some of those case openings to give the money back? That's probably not going to happen. So what does it mean for the esports teams who paid a lot of money for a product that is not going to last past 2025? But overall, a more open system for the esport of CSGO or CS2, that's pretty lit. And they're also going to be using their own ranking system, which has been an area of conflict and debate for a lot of people out there, different organizers using different ranking systems. So they're going to have a complex model of actually ranking teams, which is going to be cool to see how that plays out. And any compensation for participating teams, prize pool or otherwise, will be made public and will be driven by objective criteria that can be impacted by the community. And so not exactly sure what this means, but if a team is somehow being paid a certain amount to do something at the event, that will be made public so other teams can be made aware of it. It seems like a W. The biggest focus being, we have just gotten done talking about Activision Blizzard and the Overwatch League. They are literally paying teams to quite possibly no longer partake in the league, to continue with the OWL. What does that mean for CDL? Rumors say they're moving from Twitch to YouTube with a lot of frustrations over there in the future of Call of Duty esports. You look towards the NALCS for League of Legends, viewership on the decline, people having issues with some teams still being in there. Other League of Legends franchise leagues are doing great, but just a comparison point. And then you talk about other franchise systems like Valorant, which was under fire just last week for maybe not enough support for the tier 2 scene, and maybe not enough teams being in the tier 1 scene getting that support from Riot. It was a lot of drama back and forth all around franchise leagues. And then you have Valve going, hey, guess what? We're just going to get rid of all of them. In effect, by the way, in 2025. Key to note. And you've had so many responses out there. Rops having some stuff to say. We love Rops on Twitter, but also some saying Valve has now killed franchising. Curious to see how this pans out. You had Ryan with a solid take. What does that mean for partnership teams who paid millions of dollars in the Louvre agreement or other ones to partake in these leagues? That's a big question mark. I like Launder's take as well, saying, hey, open this sucker up. Give other teams a chance to partake in CS2, and now sticker money is king. In a system where you have 1 or 2 CS majors a year, it is now going to be the pivotal moment. If you have an open qualifier team, make it all the way to the major and make some life-changing money, which we have seen time and time again, but now we could be seeing this with orgless rosters or some lower tier rosters, at least have a shot to make these bigger events and make a run for it. I love this. At least on paper, I love this. I don't know how these details are going to work out over the next couple of years before this releases, but it seems cool on paper. And it very much seems that Valve is saying, you know what? Let's have a fresh start for CS2. If you are looking at CS2, all of the hype around the game, everyone opening cases, Valve is making hundreds of millions of dollars. It makes sense, though, with a brand new esport, CSGO becoming CS2, if you're 100 Thieves or an Optic or a brand that has left CSGO and maybe want to weigh back in, it seems Valve is saying, hey, you don't need to pay millions of dollars for your roster and millions of dollars for a franchise spot. Come and play our esport and have a chance through open qualifiers and a more open circuit to support everybody who wants to partake in CS2. Now, it is a bit further along back in 2025, but it hopefully will be towards the start of that year, so maybe a year and a half away. There's a lot of question marks, but this seems to be a really cool response and what could be really good for the future of Counter-Strike esports and CS2. So what do you guys think? Till next time, take care of yourselves, drink up. We'll see you back here sometime soon.